Hi, friends. It's time to start our Wonders reading program officially. In our first unit, we're going to be talking about cultures. And here's our essential question. How do people from different cultures contribute to a community? And if you're unsure what a culture is, well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So let's take a look at this picture and maybe think about what is a culture? I see two children in the middle of a field or an area where they are being watched. Maybe they're having a performance of some kind. They do look like they're dressed in some costumes or special outfits of some kind. So you take a minute to look at this picture and really think about what these children might be doing. All right, keep those ideas in mind as we continue on. Here's a little bit of background knowledge about cultures, and it'll tell you about how people celebrate cultures and share their cultures with one another. Let's watch the video. Well, that in that video, they shared with us several ways that people share their cultures. I'm going to ask you to watch the video again. In that video, they shared at least 3 ways that people celebrate or share their cultures. See if you can remember all 3 ways. At the end of this lesson, you're going to fill out an exit ticket telling me at least one way that people share their cultures. So pay special attention to this video and have a second look. So in that video, the people were sharing their culture in different ways. One way was by dancing. A second way was by sharing food from their culture. And a third way was by sharing music in a parade. See if you can remember at least one of those 3 ways by the time we get to the end of this lesson. All right, now we've gone into our reading and writing companion, which you probably remember from 2nd grade. And in our reading and writing companion, which I like to just call the workbook, we are going to read the story. It's called Room to Grow. And if you look down here, here's our essential question again. We're trying to find out how people from different cultures contribute to a community. Well, the video gave us a few ideas, and this story is going to tell us more. In this story, we're going to read how one family helps their community grow. Now, I like to read the story to you in my own voice. Once you get signed up for Wonders and we get you logged in, you'll be able to go back to this story and read it yourself, or you'll be able to use these audio buttons to have the story read aloud to you. But today, I'd like to read the story to you myself. It's called Room to Grow. Here's a picture of our new home in Portland. Spring in the city. My name is Kiku Sato. Last spring, my family and I moved from the country to the big city. Our new home in Portland had no yard. Since there wasn't even a tiny plot of land. So Mama made an indoor garden. First, she and Papa planted seeds in pots. Then they hung them from hooks. Next, they crammed plants onto shelves. Green vines tumbled over desks. Soon, our house had plants everywhere. At first, I was scared to start school. I was afraid no one would be my friend. But I soon met a classmate. Jill Hernandez and I were practicing reading aloud one day. She helped me say her last name, and I helped her pronounce mine. The next day, we were best friends. Jill spent lots of time in my house. And here's a map of the state of Oregon, which is where she moved to. An idea for a garden. One afternoon, Jill and her mother came to visit Mama and Papa and me. First, they saw our beautiful potted plants. Jill's mother said, "Jill admires your indoor garden. She's told me so much about it." We all sat down while Mama served tea. First, she put green tea into the tea bowl. Then, she added hot water and stirred. She handed the bowl to Jill's mother and bowed. And here's a picture of Mama's special tea bowls. "My mother taught me how to make tea," said Mama. "She also taught me how to plant a traditional Japanese garden. I learned to make the most of a small, compact space." All of a sudden, Jill's mother smiled. "Can you help us with a project?" she asked. "Our community wants to plant a garden. Our plot is very small. There's so much we want to grow." Papa looked at Mama, and they both bowed. "Yes," they said. Sounds like they might be sharing something from their culture. A garden grows. First, we had a meeting with the community. Everyone agreed to contribute. Some people brought seeds, tools, and dirt. Then the next day, we met and started our garden. Papa built long, open boxes. Next, we filled them with dirt. The tallest box went close to the back wall. The boxes got shorter and shorter. The shortest box was in the front. "All the plants will get sunlight without making shade for the others," Mama said. Here's a picture. Papa builds boxes, and Jill and I plant seeds. Then we used round, flat stones to make a rock path. Papa said that in Japan, stones are an important part of a garden. Finally, we planted the seeds. Jill and I worked in the garden all summer. Our community grew many different vegetables. At the end of the summer, we picked enough vegetables to have a cookout. Mama brought a big pot of miso and vegetable stew. Everyone thanked Mama and Papa for their help. They brought a bit of Japan to Portland. I was so proud. And here's a picture to show their harvest. It says, "Look what we picked." All right, that's the end of the story, A Room to Grow. I want you to think about how this family shared their culture with their community. Think about what the community needed and how Kiku's family helped them. What was something they did in their culture that they used to help their community? All right, for your task today, you're going to go into Google Classroom and you'll see the task for this story, A Room to Grow. Your job for reading today is to complete the task in Google Classroom.